Hey there, people of the grid. Exciting news. I thought I would do something a little bit different today. I've talked about it in a ton of my videos in the past, and it's something that I saw a couple of days ago, and then I kind of parked it in the back of my brain thinking I'll get back to this when I have some time, and I never did, and now I have a bit of time, and I get back to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is the most exciting thing ever. Yeah, all right. Let's rewind the clock a bit. All right, so if you rewind a couple of years, Ewan McGregor and a buddy of his put together this idea and they executed it flawlessly. It was beautiful. So him and a buddy, they like riding motorbikes, and they have this idea that they want to ride the long way around the planet. So they basically start on one side of the planet and they ride all the way over to the other side. It took them through Russia, through Mongolia, through all these countries and towns and villages that you would normally not go to. They stopped and they ate with locals, they stayed with locals. They had like the most amazing travel experience I think you could have on a motorbike. It was an awesome show. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's called The Long Way Around. It's with Ewan McGregor and his buddy Charlie. And then a couple of years go by and they're like, that was so much fun, we should do it again. So they did another one called The Long Way Down. Now it's Ewan and his buddy and the motorbikes that they're riding, and then this whole film crew that comes in tow doing kind of what I do here with Mick TV, where they shoot the footage, they edit the footage, and they crank out these shows. I can't remember, it was probably like 8 or 10 episodes per thing. Well, they just wrapped up the latest one that I saw on our free subscription of Apple TV. There's really nothing good on Apple TV, like Oprah's there. I mean, I'm not an Oprah fan. And this show called The Long Way Up. They started at the very bottom of the South American continent and they rode up along the edge, cutting in and out of various different countries, and over into the North American continent, and they ended their ride up in LA. Took them about 100 and some days. That was cool, and the cool thing was the first two that they did, I think Ewan rode a Beamer. No, they both rode Beamers, I think in the first two shows. In this show that I just saw, they rode electric bikes. These are new electric bikes. They don't even exist yet. You can't buy them. They're prototypes and they're made by Harley Davidson. So it was a bit of a trial by fire for the bikes. Their support crew decided to take Rivian trucks, also a new comer to the electric vehicle market with trucks. Again, they're not shipping. They took pre-production models, 2 of their pre-production truck models, and that's what the crew drove from the bottom all the way up to LA over that period of 100 days. So that was the adventure that they captured. It's a cool show. I really enjoyed it. You should watch it. If you like the idea of motorbiking and just experiencing the world and some amazing places to go see. They stopped at Machu Picchu. They did a whole bunch of stuff over there. It was very cool. Harley Davidson is now coming out with electric bikes, with pedal electrics or pedelecs, e-bikes, which I think is really cool. I've been watching the e-bike space and it's developed significantly from when it started. There's some really, really good bikes for all range and sizes of people, for all range and styles of riding. They're out there now. I'm just looking for the right bike that looks good, that I would be happy to call mine. One that doesn't look like it's an electric bike, but performs like it's an electric bike. And what do you know? Harley Davidson is bringing them out next year. 2021, their electric bikes are going to be on the street. So let's take a look. I thought the easiest way to do this is if you just follow along the website with me. One of the places I like to get a lot of my news from, especially tech stuff, is The Verge. They've got a pretty good article about it. You can Google it yourself. But here it is. So we've got Harley Davidson's new electric bikes look incredible, but they won't be cheap. Well, of course not. They're made by Harley Davidson. They won't be cheap, but they're going to last virtually forever. And they're going to be supported for a very long time, and they're going to be put together extremely well. If there's one thing Harley Davidson knows, it's how to build a solid bike, and I am super excited about them building an electric motorbike, but also now an electric pedal bike. Pedal electrics or pedal electric assists, by the way, they come in a couple of different flavors. Some of them have a thumb throttle, so when you're holding the bike, you basically have a throttle that you can use to go slower or faster. The other thing is with pedal assist is as you pedal slowly, the bike motor kicks in power. So you pedal a little bit, it kicks in a little bit. You pedal a little harder, it pedals harder. It's almost like making you bionic. It magnifies your energy input to give you a lot more energy output. So you can go a lot further than you ever could on a regular bike. You're still pedaling, you're still getting exercise for the same amount of time, but you're covering a lot more distance. I think that's pretty cool. All right, so they talk about a Serial 1 cycle that they recently launched. Interesting. It's the first of 4 models that will go on sale in the US. All these dollar figures that you see, the $33.99 to $49.99, that's US. It's not cheap, but I mean, I'm expecting the bike that I buy, it's going to last me 20 years minimum. The bike that I have right now, it has lasted me 20 years. So that's what I'm expecting out of my next one. So, you know, $5,000 US over 20 years, I think that's pretty fair. Providing it lasts that long, which I think it will. So they're gonna have 4 bikes to start out, ranging in price from the $33.99 to $4, but their names are Mosh City, Rush City, the latter coming in 3 variants. Okay, nice. Are they good prices? Yeah, I think they are. Mid-drive motors. If you're gonna build an electric bike, in my humble opinion, the best way to do it is to put the motor in the middle. It just makes sense from a physics perspective, and it's just I think it's the way it should be. When you put a motor in the back or in the front or both, you're kind of torquing, you know, one end of the bike or the other end of the bike, or I guess if they're in both, it's balanced out. So if you're going to do it, that's the way to go. But I really like the idea of a mid-drive. The bikes look better. It doesn't look like an electric bike in most cases because it's just sort of hidden away in the middle there. I think they look super sharp. For me, mid-drive motor bikes are they're where it's at. So they talk about they're not messing around, of course, because they're Harley. It's interesting. I don't know when Harley swallowed the red pill of electrical propulsion as a future, as an alternative. They're not completely switching over. They're still doing the gas bikes, but they've added this to the line, so pretty excited. 3 of them are Class 1 e-bikes in the US, meaning that they're pedal assist only with no throttle. So if you look at the videos, and I encourage you to watch them, they've got a couple of different, like they got a bike that doesn't have a throttle and it doesn't even have a display. It's an electric bike. It does the electric pedal assist thing, but without the display and without the throttle. That's kind of cool. It's like a bare bones minimalist e-bike. And, you know, most people probably wouldn't even know it's an electric bike, depending. 120-year-old brand, 120 years Harley's been around. That's quite a while. So let's take a look at the Mosh CTY, shall we? All right, so Mosh CTY, I don't even know how you say it, Mosh City. I'm gonna go with Mosh City. Mosh City, dude standing with a bike, he looks cool. Well, he's the dude in the video that they made down below that you have to watch. Look at that. That's clean. No fenders, because you don't need them. Fenders, I usually don't have fenders. The down tube is nice, it looks solid. The motor is down there in the middle. The battery is in the down tube by the looks of it, and that's a belt drive. It's not chain drive. That's pretty sweet. And then disc brakes, because disc brakes are just all the hotness. That is a nice looking bike. Minimalist battery display there. Nice solid looking pedals. Ooh, look at that. It's kind of squarish, the stem there. Mosh City. Okay, there's, what do we got? So we got a control for lights. So you got like high beam, low beam lights. There's a Bluetooth there, so I wonder if there's an integrated speaker or something, or maybe it'll talk to your phone and that'll track the ride and tell you how fast you're going. And that looks like either a battery, or it looks like a thumb throttle thing on the bottom. It can't be though, it's on the left-hand side. Throttle should be on the right. I don't know, it'd be interesting to see what they've done there. Maybe that's a high beam, low beam flick or something, and then the display of the battery or the display of the power you're getting. Interesting, have to see what that does. Let's look at the next picture here. The disc brakes, yeah, we've seen those before, and that's a sharp looking pedal. That belt drive though, that is cool. And some nice little, look at those integrated brake lights in the back, just subtle, tucked in there, very neat, very subtle. When you hit the brakes, I guess those come on, or maybe they just, in the video, I think they were on as sort of running lights. Very, very minimal and very cool. Wow. Riding down steps, I would expect you'd be able to do that on it, because it's like a mountain looking bike. Nice. Okay. 529 watt hour battery. Should power it for anywhere from 35 to 105 miles of range. When you see that, go with the low end of the estimate. Let's assume 35 is solid. That'll cover all of our different weight classes and riding types. and like if you go 100%, I'm not even going to pedal. I just want full power mode. 35 miles is not bad. You know, here, that would get me from my house all the way to downtown Calgary, and then I could charge down there. That, I don't see any specs on how long it would take to charge, but let's assume 2 hours to full, ideally, hopefully. It's not bad. You could always pedal back anyways, so even if you run out of power in these things, it's not bad. Not bad. It's quick, it's nimble, and an absolute ripper, says the company. I love that belt drive. Wow. Now this one they're calling the Rush City Step Through. Okay, step through means it's got no horizontal bar on the bike, which makes it easy for people with knee injuries or challenges. You know, if you can't bend your knees that much, you just pass a leg through. Yeah, look at that. That's a sharp looking bike. Most of the time we'd see women or girls riding those types of bikes because you could actually wear dresses, but nowadays nobody wears a dress riding a bike. But you know, there you can, or a kilt, I guess. She's riding the bike. I like that color scheme, that white and black. I like that a lot. It's got fenders, and I'm usually not a fan of fenders, but you know what? Those are so well integrated. What else we got? Nice bike. Yeah, that black and white scheme reminds me of the Tesla seats in Tammy's Tesla. It's all white and black in the interior. Very sharp looking. I think that's Tammy's bike right there. Tammy, I found you a bike.
Thanks.
You're welcome. That's what I do. Just a little service I provide. Ooh, same integrated battery. You know what? It looks like that battery almost, you'd press a button and it would come out so you could get extra set of batteries to pop in. That should be the case. And if it is, it's a smart design, because then you can take a spare. Look at that little display. It's like an Apple Watch display for speed, and if you're in eco mode or probably sport mode. Don't know what a bros is, but if you're riding with the bros, it just tells you that the bros are there. Very cool. Little rack, so you could probably put the bags on the bike and carry extra gear. It's not bad. That just looks so, look at that, Harley Davidson on that support shaft. Wow, that is cool looking. Okay, wow. Next up, it looks like they've got the Rush City Speed. Now we're getting up in price by the looks of it, so this must be the more premium model. All black. That's got the fenders. Oh, look at the Harley Davidson in black. Looks like matte on black. That just looks so sharp. Integrated light. That number one thing in the front, in the video, it glows. So they actually light up. They light up the bike tube, which is so cool. There's some auto manufacturers that do that now with their logo. I saw a Ford F-150 truck on the road the other day, and at night the F-150 was lit up. And I think it was from the factory like that. It just looks cool. What else we got? Pedals, the lights with the back. That belt drive is just, I love that. Oh, there's my bike in white. It's kind of lame, but Tammy's and my bikes could match. I'd have to put some green on mine. That looks so neat. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Then we read some of the fine print. Quickest way to nav the city, but the motorcycle giant is about to enter a very crowded market. There's a lot of other e-bike manufacturers out there. Specialized, Trek, and Giant. Yeah, they make some. Trek makes an amazing looking one. Specialized too. Fastest growing e-bike. Rad Power. Pedigo, not my thing. It's too electric bikey. Van Moof's nice. Won't be the first motorcycle brand. Triumph unveiled. Oh, we're going to have to look at the Triumph. And Ducati launched its first e-bike last year. I'm going to have to go look that up. Yeah, so if you go to the actual Harley Davidson proper site, that's where you can get you know, some of the more scoop or the real deal. Now there they've got some videos with the people that were in the still photos, and they are truly awesome.
Go through the notes for today's meeting.
I'm just gonna skip around here. They do a little taco thing where the guy's riding the bike to go find a taco. But it looks really good. I love the electric sound on the bike. With that, it looks very, very cool. All right, I know what I'm saving up my money for now. Electric bikes, it's where it's at. It's going to change the world. By the way, bikes this year, I mean, we had to buy one, or we did buy one for Melissa, our little girl, for her birthday, just a regular pedal bike. And we had to buy it sight unseen. It was in a box because there's been a big run on bikes. It's a great way to commute and get around. And you're not, hanging out with lots of other people. So that's a good thing nowadays. And they're just coming back to being super popular again. Electric bikes are allowing people that had given up riding because they hurt their legs or they thought they were, that time is gone. It's back now. Like anybody now can ride a bike through any age group. And it's pretty exciting. All right, we're going to watch this pretty closely. So I think there's a Harley in my future, and it might just be a pedal bike. That's what was on my mind today. Now you know. Miker.